overall. So who knows? This is going to be interesting because we are back into the isolated match. Enough with the back-to-back, but it's the most important thing right now is the present, where we are seeing New Vision City for the team for Valor Kings main. So let's see how it goes, how quick they are in getting all of the resources, or we might be seeing any early fight, early match, and early annihilation.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, the first two teams on our list, Team 1 and 2, are on the same area. And we saw the flight path as well. It's a little bit skewed, but it didn't stop those teams who want to go onto the north. But that's the decision that they need to make right now, because it seems like the flight path coincides with where the next circle would be. So they need to move fast, loot fast. But speaking of moving fast, it is IE right now. Immortal Esports, who's moving fast in getting elimination. 2 already on the board, and Glue only lost not his life, but only his armor.
Great start, great battle, 2 kills right away from Immortals Esports Exodus. So finding some groove right away, so that's the key in winning this battle. But in front of them, the remaining soldier of Team HNXC. So let's see how it goes, because Daddy is the only player. Who's your daddy now? Is it something that we can see, or he will be going home? And that's the one that I'm talking about, going home right away. Great job.
Daddy needs to go home and go into the gulag. Now, Hazik, let's see of what darkness this guy can make. You know how it is when you're going Hazik. Right?
Oh my God.
There's a lot of problem that might be happening. Poison Ivy right now into the different part of the map. No contention. And onto where they are right now in Harbor, but onto the other side, Cray from TMW. Doc, 1 elimination already, but we'll need to be careful because the team is being hunted by VE. They have spotted Art already, and there goes Jadul for the jump. A 1v2 situation that Jadul might not be able to survive, and that Art will not be able to survive, and Jadul managed to deal with him. Now, let's see if the rest of the team, like Denzu, would also fight back and move away, but it seems like one player or another player will be brought back into the gulag, but there's still more chances for VE Artemis to get back and play.
More chances to VE Artemis, and a great performances earlier from TMW Kratos. That's the first time I'm seeing them perform tonight. And meanwhile, we are seeing Team T, Team Vitas, who happens to have a better performances on the previous round, but let's see how consistent they are. This one that we're talking about in New Vision City, 4KINGS fighting against 4VK. So let's see, a lot of 4, a lot of Ks. Are we about to see the W? Just like that, Winter goes into the rainy season. Super Jody is the one getting the W. 4VK, we're still seeing having a complete squad. Holy Father, not moving any muzzle at all. He knows already the location of his opponents, so he's just really finding some better opportunity. Here we go. That's something that I'm talking about. This is outside. Cloud is being thrown, but also getting a lot of damages, and he got no choice but to get out. But he's being followed with a 2v1 situation, and just like that, that's an early annihilation. He is also into the gulag. Same thing with Remy, and Tokyo is about to say goodbye as well. Superman, oh my God, I'm seeing a lot of my brothers right now joining this group stage, and 4VK got the W fighting against 4KINGS Overload.
You know why why 4VK won against 4KINGS?
Why?
Because they have that V. They had that victory on them. So,
exactly.
I mean, that's the only thing missing for 4KINGS. They are overloading a little bit, but I'm pretty sure they'll be back in play, getting a few more points. This is just the beginning. I'm not hyping 4KINGS overload at this point. It's just that they've done that earlier already. Look at where they are. 4th place, and it was a similar gameplay from what we see. They were eliminated early, go back to Gulag a little bit early, and then they grab all those points. But not for some of the teams like Rigid. Rigid did get a victory earlier, if I'm not mistaken, and they just need a little bit more of that nudge to push themselves closer to the #1 spot.
pushing themselves is one of the things that we are expecting from Rigid TSG. But right now, one of the OGs, most wanted. Let's see how are they going to survive, because right now is not favorable in terms of their situation. They're outside of the zone. I know it's early. It's just, 1% of the damage that they're getting if they're still staying outside of the zone. But looking at the number of kills, they got 3 kill points already. So that's a good start from most wanted. Casa! Oh my god, I'm seeing Casa once again. So let's see. How are they going to really predict what is going on right now? But this time, it's out of their control. What a great win. The Licks doesn't have any premium experience into the Gulag, not having any deluxe experience into the Gulag, because he turns into the dog tag. Seeing them right now performing Delta, well, as you keep on saying earlier, they're not really being alpha, because in terms of performance of Delta, I don't see any great number of soldiers, great executions coming out from Team Delta.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, they need to be alpha at this point, but there's a lot of contention. But speaking of contention, Immortal Esports, let's see how immortal you are going against Blackfire and into the zone. There it goes. Now, there has been a takedown on Berto already, but Berto might be picked up unless IE moves away. And there's a huge chance, and Rinka will be taken out with the God Nade coming from Luki, and Luki Lu, here we go. And as we can see, Fire or Blackfire is still on the board. 2 players against IE, but it is tough because it's not only them that we need to deal with. There's also a few who's gunning them down from the riverside.
Casa is also out there, so 3 different goals that we are seeing. Maybe there's the third party going on, or maybe a flank might work from the Casa, because right here we're seeing Luki's on the ground because of Casa and saying goodbye already into the Gulag. Red is also out there trying to repair his armor, trying to create some space from the players of Casa, with the Snowbee coming out from Dama, chasing the Red of Fire. So let's see if this is going to be the end game for Blackfire Red or not. It depends how good he is and having a great defense. And here we go, close quarter battle, cracking out at this, but he's the one being knocked out on the ground. Casa Dam into the Gulag. Red is the only player. Oh my god! He's out of the game as well. Great job, great battle. Casa with a great help and a good counter. Because of that, I think all of the players of Fire are into the Gulag. And another chance right now, so you can see 7 kills in total as we speak from Casa. Checking out a map already, we're seeing some teams outside of the zone. 3 teams are at the edge of the safe zone, and a lot of players close to Este. Team S, Team H, and Team Q. I don't know what it looks like. It might be a chaos from that location.
Yeah, I mean, it is chaotic. It would be chaotic at this point, especially if you have multiple teams in the area. It seems like some of the teams will be expired because of Lu, and one of those is Rinka. And, well, it's a good thing that a couple of the players can recover and get back into Rinka right now, but is this enough time for them? Yes, they are close, but they will be dealing with some players from Axis FHJ gameplay, and probably a few shots as well in the chopper. And it gives one team out in the open for Rigid. Well, they're Rich Kid at this point. They would name them as Rich Kid. You will hear that kashing kashing coming from them as they buy from the buy station. But they're not going in for an engagement. I guess NXT would be someone in trouble. Lacos, I know how he can go for survivability. But if it means losing your teammate, I think there's something wrong with communication or probably with how teams are rotating.
Let's see how they're going to rotate, because they're really too far from each other using that muscle car and only carry 2 passengers. And Dream is also out here. Is this going to be the Dream that they're looking for? But to unfortunate, a lot of disappointment, because Team G right here is the only player alive that I am seeing being chased by 4 VK. Here we go. Is that going to be an explosion? And I was right. And Kaizo definitely trying to survive, doing some reset. He needs to create some space. He needs to hide. He needs to dance around the map, but that's going to be too hard. But still, only crack out that vest, but 2 per. Is that Jody? Is the one that I'm seeing. Kaizo's still surviving right now. That's going to be a 4v1 situation. Shockwave! Oh no! But that's not effective at all. Kaizu sent out into the gulag, brother.
Airdrop incoming.
Yeah, I mean, and a good play that could have been done if it wasn't for the multiple opponents or 4 opponents overall.
Right.
Because it does have that shockwave, but the gun that he pulled out it doesn't work that well against multiple opponents. Yes, when you push that shockwave and use that Jack 12, I believe, then you can take down one, but not all of them. And everyone has him on the crosshair. So let's see on how that's going to turn up on the gulag at this point. But for Leap, they had 4 elimination, keeping their distance against the other teams, and they need to do more. Leap main currently on the 13th spot, only with 10 points. Needs a lot more to do. As for Axis right now, one of which has revived himself, and the rest are still in the gulag. So let's see on where they will be dropping base.
Oh my god, damn! Being hit by that ORV. What a great plan. Worked out well from Immortals Esports. And seeing different colors right here, you got to be careful having a complete squad. Few of the players from Immortals Esports are outside of the zone. The VVV doing some gatekeep. Is that going to be well enough to knock down the players of Immortals Esports? Here we go. They're all having some pressure from their shoulders because of the circle getting smaller. How are they going to execute? How are they going to attack, but also getting some damages? Tassan rotating, Tassan adjusting the position, repairing the armor, but being caught off guard by Rinka, not allowing him to do some repair of his armor. Great job being clever in pushing in. That's the power of individual prowess of Immortals
Airdrop has
Esports.
been delivered.
Now let's see on how well they can work with the individual prowess. But as a team, seems like there are a few teams that is showing their prowess and they are working together. But for Kosa, they need to work in a little bit of a reduced fashion, because despite of how strong they were on Blackout and getting a lot of elimination early on, it seems like some of the players like Delix has been eliminated, not even surviving Gulag. But for Leap, they are in engagement, might be able to go in for a shot, and MW most wanted would be taken down. And that was just coming from Sato and the rest of the team to be able to track those on inside this arsenal. Now, let's see though if Kleptazi would be able, or Kleptazi would be able to rotate and get the high ground, because they will need to get all those information from the high ground.
Getting some good intel is one of the keys of winning the position, and not only that, winning the battle, because you will have some time to be ready and prepare for an attack. And it really works. Every now and then you gotta plan things out in order for you to execute your strategy on a perfect way. And speaking of perfect, though it's not perfect for Blockfire, we're only seeing one player being alive and kicking from this location, no other than Red, but also still taking good care of the position, taking the advantage of the supply box. He knows whether the summon is out there from Pave, if I'm not mistaken, but Red is still trying to adjust and patiently waiting. I'm hearing that the fire sale. So he knows what to do next, but seeing some actions from TMW losing the battle from 4KINGS Remy.
Yeah, I mean, let's see though if they will be able to take advantage of fire sale. It's a little bit of discount, 30%. Oh, who says it's a little bit? I mean, if anyone could get 30% in anything in this world, that is a lot. But in Call of Duty Mobile, that is something that would help the team, especially if you haven't gathered enough coins. For Axis right now, a little bit of revive and probably bringing back teammates is needed. Rewind action, but for how long? I don't think you'll be able to recover, and you won't be able to go anywhere. Yes, a little bit of movement speed from that, but I don't think he can survive that long to go in with the zone, and that would be unfortunate. That might be the last stretch for the team.
Speaking of the teams, these are the top teams. We are on POV. We are seeing Rigid. We're seeing IE. So let's see who will grab the W from this teams. And right now, they're all clever. IE trying to be ready looking at it, they're inside of that little house. Rigid Esports at the edge of the safe zone, seeing the players of Team M. I think they will be getting another kill point. And true enough, it shows from the kill feed. And here we go, surviving still. Casa, but also outside of the zone, there's a lot of damages that you are getting right now. You got to be ready from the Rigid TSG. And here we go, Slash, about to slash him out. Let's see if that's evident for Slash. And here we go, Renka attacking Dream, and Axe is saying goodbye. Fade is also surviving. Rigid still fighting. We are still seeing Team C surviving, 2 soldiers remaining at the edge of the safe zone, and also with a cloud of smoke being thrown just to do some reset and attack quad battle. Here we go, not able to win. Slash using that katana, I can say, by just reading his name, slashing him out, and IE still trying to be quiet.
Let's see if them being quiet can give them that advantage. So, though in terms of elimination, they already had a lot. So it seems like IE would still maintain their sheer dominance in terms of strength and elimination, but they need to work on getting that victory. Otherwise, once we go into the grand finals, and this is how they can, yes, reaching that 80 point would be easy, but grabbing a championship would be difficult. So a little bit of this and that, a little bit of passive and aggressive gameplay needs to be done in the mix. Quick decision and quick thinking is something else that they can, or quick adjustment rather, is something else that they can use to be able to put up that much fire and that much fight into the game.
I couldn't agree more, brother. Right now, we're seeing a ceasefire. Finally, we're seeing a breather from these players. Oh my God, Aspect, perfect throw. Kobe shot from Stellar.
Who says?
Can you imagine? And J Camo doing some flying, but it didn't work because he knows already that he might be pushed in by the players of the Rigid. In fact, he's definitely crawling on the ground. Rigid Esports getting some damages while trying to be inside of the circle to avoid any bad situation coming through to them. Oh my God, and that's the one that I'm talking about. Another throw. Cholo from TMW, Jadul from TMW is on the ground. Sekren not showing any secret anymore because he managed to showcase how good he is, really performing well. And Sekren going on to the top of the hill. So let's see if that's going to be a better idea. Right now, we are seeing a complete squad from Rigid Esports.
Rigid, not only do they have a complete squad, but they have 22 eliminations already on the board, and that is a lot. Now let's see what else can be done against them, and Rigid still adding up to that number. Now there's a lot on the lower ground, and one of those is Remy, but it seems like 4BK might be the one to spotting him at all much easier for him to move around that hill, but for 4BK Sonder, a little bit of recovery as he deals with VVV. 3 players, and Kuzma sees him, but not spot him. It's Super Huge who would be taken down, and he is receiving a lot of damage, and that might be it. 4BK might not be getting that victory overall.
Victory is the key at the end of this match. Here we go. Who will grab the V? Who will grab the W? Is that Rigid? Is that IE Exodus to do some back-to-back? Even if that ship doesn't want that? But let's see. Because I'm seeing right now IE Exodus about to have a better position, but at the edge of the station right here. But in terms of number of soldiers, Rigid Esports having the advantage. Getting that kill. Remy saying goodbye. That's a complete annihilation. IE, VVV, 3 teams, 7 soldiers on board. What's going to be the end? What's going to be the story of the last match? Is that going to be a collapse from VVV? Is that going to be a complete annihilation from Rigid? Or something else from Brinka? Because he's one of the best players of the Immortals Esports, being alone right now. Lay Slashy is also out here. VVV in terms of position, they got the better advantage. Who knows? Is this going to be it? Is this going to be the end? Right now, Renka is about to help out. His team has to go back on his feet in no time. So let's see the ending of this battle. Rigid Esports attacking, VVV's doing some great preparation, but also being found by Lay, cracking out that vest, knocking him down. Great job. Jody is also being out of the game. 1 player left. He's about to take the advantage. He's about to push in, and here we go. This is the one that I'm talking about. He still has a lot of time. Oh my God, and here we go. Asan. Oh, where you are right now. Kuzma is also out here with a rewind, and that's the one that I'm talking about, brother. Rigid Esports taking the W.